Welcome back to Thistle Hill Farmstead. My name's Todd, and now that it's getting a little cooler here on the farm, it's September, I think it's time that we could probably get our bikes out and do some riding and not just absolutely die. So that's what I'm going to do today, is dig the bikes out of our shed, do a little maintenance on them, make sure they're in good riding order, and then we'll be ready to do a little exercise here and enjoy the cool weather in Georgia. So come along with me. All right, let's take a look here. See what kind of shape the bikes are in. We've got them here in our shed where we keep the big mower and a lot of other junk, as you can see. So here they are. We have two Giant brand bikes, and yeah, I can see right now that the tires are flat on both of them. So I need to pull those out. We'll take a look at if those just need pumped up, aired up rather, and then we'll lube the chains and check the gear and just give them a good once over and make sure everything's in working order before we start riding. Okay, let's dig these things out, and I'm gonna have to pump the tires up initially because I don't want to roll it with the tires being flat, because you could pinch the tube and then you're gonna need a new tube. So let's try to get them out first. So I have the, and what I'm going to try to do is just pump the tires up and see if they hold some air. Well, that's kind of good news. I was able to pump the tires up, and they did seem to hold air. So that's good. We'll see if they stay up. Now, the tires, I was feeling of them, They feel not quite cracked or dry rotted, but I guess they've sat out here a bit, that they might be a little brittle. We'll see. We'll have to ride it a bit and see how they do. So let me get the next one out. Well, that's good news. It seems like both are holding pressure in the tires. So now I can take them into the garage and just oil up the chain and check everything out. So let's do that. All right, let's bring them in and clean them up. Okay, I think the first thing I'm going to do is just get a damp cloth and wipe some of the dust off of them, because they're pretty dirty from just being sitting out in the shed. Let's wipe them off a bit now. All right, that looks a little better. Now I'm going to grease up the chains, or oil up the chain. And to oil up the chain, I'm going to flip them upside down. Okay, I'll bring you in a little closer when I get ready to oil the chain up. I'm going to do just a little bit more cleaning up on them while I got it upside down here. There's so many spider webs all over them and on the spokes and everywhere. That's looking better. Gives me a chance to clean them up, and I'm also checking for loose spokes on the wheels. Just again, they've been setting so long. I just want to make sure there's no loose spokes. I'm going to use some of this Teflon, DuPont Teflon multi-use dry wax lubricant. And the reason I'm using this is because I don't want to put a lot of oils onto the chain, because all that does is attract dirt. So I think this will do good to not attract so much dirt. And I'll wipe off the excess once I'm done. Let's wipe off the excess now. And you'll see how much is coming off the chain, so I'll clean that chain up a little bit. Wipe off all my gears back here. Okay. Now that that's wiped off, I'm going to just put a little bit more back on it. Okay. All right, that should be good. Let's do the next one. All right, that should get it. Now, I don't really have a bike stand, but what I would typically do at this point is to put the bikes up onto a bike stand and then just cycle through the gears to make sure that the gear mechanism is moving properly. I may try to find some way to do that, or otherwise I'll just take it down the driveway and ride it and go through the gears and see how they do. So I've just opted to go down the driveway and run it through the gears and see how it does. What do you think, guys? Okay, the lower gears or the rear changer does good, rear derailleur, but the front one would not go up onto the big sprocket, so I need to do a little bit of adjustment on that. So let me take the other one out and see how it does.
Weird when you were changing gears.
It's actually better than the first one. Okay, that one did better than the first one. On the front derailleur, it actually went from the very lowest one to the highest one. So let me take the first one out again and see if it was just me or if it needs adjusting. The rear brakes on this one did need adjusting just a bit, and as you can see, it's got quite a bit of play before it starts touching the pads. I'll lift it up a little bit, and you can see I can spin it, and it'll come in a bit before it begins to brake. So what that's causing is on the front handlebar, the lever is going almost all the way back to the handlebar. So to adjust that, we're going to use a 5mm hex key, and I'm going to loosen this nut here, and then that'll allow me to push this in just a bit and then tighten it back up. So I'm going to pull this over just a bit. Once I get it loose, there we go. Now this is spring loaded, so they want to open up when you loosen that spring. So I'm going to let it adjust a bit. Let's see how that does. Okay, that's rubbing just a little bit too much. You saw it stopping, so I'm going to hold it. Loosen this up again, let it out just a little bit more. Let's try that. Tighten it back up. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So that grabs good with not a whole lot of play in the handle. So now I'm going to give her a good tight. There we go. And that brake is now adjusted. Make sure everything else is tight on here. Okay, there you go. Whew. Man, I could tell how out of shape I am. All right, that one did pretty good that time. I don't think I was twisting the changer hard enough on it. They do have Shimano changers on them and derailleurs, so it's actually, you know, they're not the top of the line bike, but they're also not a bargain basement one either. So they do pretty good, but whew, you can tell how hard I'm breathing. And Charlie ran with me back and forth. I don't think he's even tired. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching it again, as always. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And if this video was interesting to you, hit that like button. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps me out a lot. Thanks again. Until next time.